Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Political Ray. We got some news going on. It was a busy Monday apparently. So we've got Trump blocks aid going to Ukraine until he can figure out and have some more talks with Zelensky about what's going on over there. He wants to make sure that the money's being spent properly. There needs to be an audit, in my opinion, of the money that he's already received and where it went, because there's all kinds of rumors going around about this money being funneled to cartels and back to other people, the money being funneled back to Democrats and other shady peoples that are, it's just wild. I mean, the guy's already received a crap ton of money from the US taxpayers, and there's no accountability of where it went, how it was spent, anything of that sort. So there needs to be some kind of audit figuring out where this money went to before he gets anything else. I mean, I think that he should just be cut off entirely. We funded this war for the last 3 years, and now if the UK wants to go ahead and throw some money at him, fine. You go ahead, because the US taxpayers are done with it. They're done. We're done. I don't think any more money should be thrown at this war. I think it's 3 years with, I mean, it was popping off in the beginning, but then, the last couple of years, it's just been a big nothing burger that we're funding, and what's come out of it? Nothing. Nothing. 2 years of taxpayer money and nothing's been accomplished. So I think it should stop. So anyway, there was a bill that went through the Senate, and it got shot down for protecting women in women's sports, and it got shot down. Every single Democrat voted no. So it got shot down, and apparently there's a truckload of Epstein files that have been delivered, and Pam Bondi and Cash Patel are going through those apparently. But we'll get into this. We'll y'all can let me know. This is wild. Things are getting crazy. It's only gonna get worse, I'm telling you. But anyway, let's check this out. Okay, so we got from the Post Millennial. Breaking President Trump pauses all military aid to Ukraine and funding. Anyway, President Trump has stopped all military aid to Ukraine following last week's clash with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House, according to Bloomberg. Okay. Y'all saw my video on this. You know how I feel about it. I think mistakes were made on both sides. I like President Trump. I like Vice President J.D. Vance. I think mistakes were made on both sides. Tempers were flared and a lot of things were said. Anyway, I think it could have been handled better on both sides. That's my opinion on it. But they've got a point. Like I said, Zelensky's been getting all kinds of money, all kinds of weapons, everything else from the U.S. Like I said, it was popping off in the beginning, and in the last 2 years, what do they have to show for it? Nothing. Like I said, to me, it feels like just an endless war that they want the U.S. to keep funding, because, in my opinion, it just funds this guy's pockets. He's getting a lot of money off of this, and there's no accountability of where the money's going or anything else. So, hey, if you want some more money there, Zelensky, let us come in and audit where your money went to. Let us find out where that money and the arms and everything else, let's see exactly what happened to it. If you can't agree to that, you're not getting anything else. That's my opinion on it. Anyway, the pause will continue until Trump determines that the Ukrainians show a commitment of good faith in the peace negotiations. The move comes after Zelensky said that the end of the war with Russia was still very, very far away. Why? Like I just said, 2 years. It was going off. There was a lot of fighting. There was all kinds of stuff all over the news when it first started. But pretty much the last 2 years, you hear something now and then, but nothing. I mean, but we're still sending him billions of dollars every time this guy came to the U.S. Remember when he campaigned for the Democrats back in October? Came to Pennsylvania, campaigned for the Democrats because he didn't want to lose that cash cow. He campaigned for the Democrats, wanting Kamala Harris to win that election because he knew that was his cash cow. He knew if President Trump got into office that his money his money fund was going to end. And rightfully so. Like I said, 2 years without any headway. Like I said, I'll repeat it again. The first year or so, it was going off. But the last 2 years of this war, nothing. And we're still sending billions of taxpayer dollars to this guy. I'm not okay with it. And most Americans aren't. So, anyway, Ukrainian President Zelensky visited London this weekend as part of the effort by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer to secure a peace deal for Ukraine. He just said that the peace, the end of this war was very, very far away. He doesn't want to lose that money funneling into his country, his pockets, wherever else it's going. He doesn't want to lose that money. And the second that, he had this meeting with President Trump, and this was just a photo op for him to sign a minerals deal, which again would have secured American interest within the region, gave him the backing of security that he wanted, but everybody threw a temper tantrum and he got thrown out, and here we are. Anyway, when asked about a new European initiative aimed at ending the war, Zelensky stated, "We are talking about the first steps today, and therefore, until they are on paper, I would not like to talk about them in great detail," he added. He wants the money. This is my opinion. He doesn't want this war to end. He wants to keep getting this money. Let's see where the money's going. That's what I think. An agreement to end this war is still very, very far away, and no one has started all these steps yet. The peace that what do you mean nobody's, look, this guy coming out and saying this is just, he's stupid. President Trump has been working with Putin. And again, Putin bad. I don't like him. I don't like Zelensky either. I think they're both dictators in their own right. Anyway, that being said, this guy coming out saying that this war is very, very far off and not ending anytime soon just tells you, I mean, look, it's been a stalemate for the last 2 years. Nobody's moved either which way. Anyway, let's see. Later on Monday, Trump criticized Zelensky over his remarks, suggesting that a solution to the conflict remains distant. I agree. Why? Why is it not accomplishable? Why can't you get it done now? There's no reason not to do it now. He is forcefully making, I mean, there's videos all over the place of people in Ukraine being forcefully taken off the streets to serve in the military because they can't get enough people. I mean, for one, he's lost a lot of manpower. There's been so many deaths in this war. And Zelensky can't get enough people to actually sign up anymore because it's an endless war. I mean, that's all there is to it. So there's videos all over the place of him forcefully taking people off the street, fighting aged males right off the street, being thrown into vans and everything else. The war needs to end. That's all there is to it. I mean, like I said, it's just stupid. And I'm behind President Trump on cutting off all the funding, especially, look, we don't know where most of this money has gone. I mean, how many billions of dollars have we sent to Ukraine? How much has actually been spent? Audit that money. I want to know where that money went to, what it was spent on, yada, yada, yada. I want that information. I want to know where our taxpayer dollars went to. I want to see what it was spent on. As simple as that. And look, and I know a lot of people are like, well, Putin's a dictator. Well, so is Zelensky. Okay. I've got no love for Putin. I've got no love for Zelensky. Both of them are dictators in their own right. Zelensky has silenced opposition. He's jailed his opposition. He's jailed journalists. I'm pretty sure there was a journalist, a U.S. journalist that was, I think he was, don't quote me on this. I don't know for sure, but I want to say I read that there was a U.S. journalist that was killed over there. Who knows why? But dictators, they're both dictators in their own right. I mean, Zelensky's, he's a He's a younger version of Putin, in my opinion. Putin was, you know, he was an operative for the Kremlin and everything else. So Zelensky's just he's a failed comedian who was thrust into power, and it's what he wanted. Now he's got what he wants. He's taken away the opposition. He's canceled the elections in Ukraine because he claims it's because of the war, but elections have still happened in wartime before, and I'll just put that out there. And a lot of the people that are saying, "Well, we need to stand with Ukraine," and okay, let me tell you one thing. For one, Ukraine accepts people. If you want to go and join their fighting force, they're accepting foreigners. You can go ahead and do that all you want to. If you really stand with Ukraine, go stand with Ukraine. Two, how much is enough? This is an honest question. How much is enough? How much should we spend on this war between Russia and Ukraine? How much is enough for you? What is it, like 350 billion that we sent? At least that we've dedicated to them. I think it was 177 billion that they've actually received from the American taxpayer. How much is enough? 300 billion? 500 billion? A trillion? It's an honest question. How much is enough before you say, okay, maybe that's enough money? How much is enough? How long do you want this war to go on? 3 years already? 5 years? 10? How long is too long? How much money is too much? Boots on the ground? You want American soldiers, American sons and daughters going over there and risking their lives? Where does it end? Where does it stop? It's an honest question. How much is enough? In all three phases: money, supplies, U.S. troops. How long do you want it to go on? Honest questions. I'm asking because I genuinely want to know, for all these people who stand with Ukraine, how much money is enough? How much money is too much? How long is too long? How much aid do you want to give them? In unlimited amount? You're okay with the war going on forever and we just funnel them money? We funnel them supplies? How much is enough? You tell me. I genuinely want to know. If you stand with Ukraine, you tell me how much is too much. I want to know. That's my opinion. I think we're way past it. I think we've given them way too much, especially the fact that we don't know where any of the money went to. We don't know where most of the supplies we went to, arms and ammunition, everything else. We don't know where most of it went to. How much is enough? You can let me know. Anyway, we'll go ahead and move on to, excuse me. The Senate bill that came up yesterday, it did not pass. This was for keeping biological men out of women's sports. Every single Democrat voted no. It needed 60 on the floor to pass. Needed 60. It got 51. Every single Democrat voted no. And I'm gonna pose another question here. For all the Democrats who are for women's rights and protect women's rights, why did you vote no on this? There's story after story after story. There was the volleyball player that ended up with brain damage because of a male participating in a women's sport. There was a basketball game where a biological male was participating in women's basketball and injured 3 players before the team that ended up with the injured players ended up having to forfeit because they had too many injured players and they couldn't keep enough players on the court. There's stories about this all over the place. So let me ask you, if you're for women's rights and you want to protect women, why wouldn't you vote yes on this? This is to keep biological males, which is scientifically they're bigger, faster, stronger. Not always, not always. There are a lot of stronger women out there. I'll give them credit where it's due. There's a lot of women. There's a lot of women that could beat the crap out of me in any sport because I'm old and I'm fat and everything else. But I mean, case in point, the high school, well, it was 10 under boys team in soccer who beat the national champion, women's soccer team 5-3, or was it 5-2? I'm not sure. One of the two. It's just, I mean, why wouldn't you vote? Why would you vote for it? Why would you vote against this? This is to protect women in their sports. But every single Democrat voted against it because they don't care. They don't care. They don't. They don't care about protecting women. And Fetterman is one of the ones, like I said, every single Democrat voted no on this, but Fetterman actually came out and said that he is going to protect the 1% of trans athletes who want to participate in female sports. It's wrong, and every one of these people should be ousted. That's just my opinion. It's frustrating. It's infuriating to me because I actually want to protect women. I don't think it's a good idea for them to participate in women's sports, men. And I don't care if you want to call yourself a female, fine. When you're 18 and you want to call yourself a female and you want to go through the hormones, all that crap, all the medical procedures, whatever have you. If it makes you happy, God bless you. Do what makes you happy. But you know what? To the parents who are encouraging this, especially when it comes to, like, I seen a story just the other day about a mom who says that she's going to transition her 6-month-old baby because this 6-month-old baby believes that she's a boy. Give me a break. This is virtue signaling at its finest. Or these parents just want to be in the cool club, which is it's not even. 79% of Americans do not want biological men competing in women's sports. But the Democrats cannot read the room. They're very, very out of touch with the American people. To vote against this is to go against the majority of Americans. Like I said, 79%. A vast majority of people do not want men in women's sports. But they don't care. They don't. They do not care about the American people. All they care about is their bottom line and what's going to enrich them. That's all there is to it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and just move on to the Epstein files. That Pam Bondi apparently says that there's a truckload that she now has, and that her and Kash Patel are going through. Do I believe her? No, I don't. Did I have to think about it for just a second? Sure, yeah, because I want to believe her. I really do. I thought Trump's pick for Pam Bondi, I thought was pretty good. I was okay with it. I'm still upset and I'm still irked over the fact that when she was on Fox News previously with Jesse Waters, and she came out and just straight up said that the Epstein files are on her list and what was in there would disgust us. And then there was a photo op with influencers, which I did not agree with. I've heard both sides of it, and I can understand both sides of it, but I didn't agree with it. I didn't. I am of the opinion that if you wanted to do something like that, you could have handed it off to just one person and let them slowly put it out. Instead, you had a big photo op with several personalities, and I wasn't a fan of that. Now, I understand a lot of these guys got blindsided with it, and I said it before. I don't discredit them. I don't blame them. Like I said, a lot of them were blindsided by it. So I don't hold anything against them personally. I hold it against Pam Bondi and the way that she's rolling this out because of the fact that she She was all uppity about it was going to make us disgusted and it was going to churn our stomachs and yada, yada, yada. And then it was a big fat nothing burger. Most of the information in there was already public knowledge that you could find on the FBI website. So I was a little peeved. I'm not going to lie about it. I thought it was going to be juicier. I thought it was going to actually have a lot of good stuff in there. But then she did that and then came out afterwards and said that a lot of the files were being withheld from her. Okay, well, if that was the case, why didn't you say that to begin with instead of leading the American people on and saying that this was going to disgust us and blah, 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 blah. It didn't make no sense to me. Anyway, but this is her on Fox News saying that she has received truckloads of documents that Kash Patel is going to go through. And I don't know. I seen a post from Tim Pool saying, look, if this is the case, release one page. Look through one page. Make sure that, there's no victims or anything on it, because I do agree with that. I don't think that we should put the victims' names out there for everybody to see. I agree with that. But like Tim said, put a page out there. Look through the page, make sure there's nothing on there that you don't, and then just put it out. Prove it. Prove that you have this, and then you're not just talking out your butt. Because the American people, after the last time you were on Jesse Waters, the people don't believe that you're actually getting anything done. She gave that FBI office, the Southern District in New York, she gave that office until 8 a.m. on Friday last week to get her the files. Or else what, Pam? What did you do? We didn't hear jack about it until now. This came out yesterday on Monday. You said that you were going to take action on Friday by 8 o'clock if they didn't have the files to you. So what happened? Did you do anything? I didn't hear it, so I doubt it happened. I mean, I don't hear everything, but I'm pretty sure this would have been big enough news that I would have heard something about if they kicked in the doors at the Southern District New York office, something to that fact. But nothing. It was crickets all weekend about Epstein. Nothing. And now we got this yesterday. Check this out. This is her on Fox News again, saying that there's a truckload, and we'll take a listen.
We all did. And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept. Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Kash is also, now that we have Kash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Kash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why the FBI withheld all of those documents.
Okay, I want to be clear, because I think people got frustrated because they were expecting more.
Yes!
You were expecting more, and you didn't.
Wait. Before she answers this question, I'm going to reiterate the fact that, yes, we were expecting more because of what she said on Jesse Waters last week.
Find out less than 24 hours before the release, you got a whistleblower that confirmed that there were way more documents that they were supposed to turn over, and then you found out just before that.
Well, sure. And you're looking at these documents going, these aren't all the Epstein files. There were flight logs, there were names and victims' names. And we're going, where's the rest of the stuff?
Yes, why didn't you say that? When you were on Jesse Waters last week, this is what I keep saying. She was on Jesse Waters last week. Supposedly, she had already gone through it because there was stuff in there that would disgust us. Why didn't you say it on Jesse Waters? Why? Why didn't you say it? It's mostly stuff that's already public knowledge. You can find it on the FBI website. Blah, 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 blah. Why? Why not? Why? That's what we want to know. This is why I don't believe her. I could be wrong. I could be. Maybe she does have a truckload of files, and Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, is actually going through these. May be the case. I don't know for sure. But the case that happened last week makes me believe that she's just talking out her ass again. I apologize, but that's how I feel.
And that's what the FBI had turned over to us. And so a source said, whoa, all this evidence is sitting in the Southern District of New York.
Yeah.
So based on that, I gave them the deadline, Friday at 8, a truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. Cash is going to get me and himself, really, a detailed report as to why all these documents and evidence had been withheld. And, we're going to go through it as fast as we can, but go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims.
Look, I hope that is the case. I really do. I hope that they held someone accountable. Now there's talks about the I want to say it was the director or the head of that office actually resigned, and there's pictures of him walking out and everything else. But look, why wasn't he arrested? He disobeyed the Attorney General's order and was hiding files, protecting child pedos and all kinds of shady people. Why was he not in cuffs? Did he strike a deal? Did he just release it and say, "Look, I'm sorry"? What happened? Why? These are the things that people want to know, and they're not getting answers for. It's a big mess. I'm not a fan of how this is going down. I'm not. Everybody wants to see these files. Everybody wants people held accountable. The problem is there's all kinds of shady dealings and backyard or backdoor crap going on, but nobody's being held accountable. We have not seen one story, at least I haven't, about anybody being held accountable. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody's had charges brought against them. The head of the FBI office just resigns and nothing, walks out the door and says, "Bye-bye. See you later." Nothing. This I've said it 100 times. Until you hold somebody accountable, they're going to keep doing this same crap over and over and over. Hold somebody accountable. When is the handcuffs going to come out? When is somebody going to go to jail over doing some shady crap, disobeying an order from the AG, disobeying an order from the director of the... If there's no accountability, there's no repercussions, no consequences for people's actions. They're going to keep doing this same BS, and nobody's going to care. Hold somebody accountable. Make an example. Look, let them know that there will be consequences for their actions. Until that happens, they're not going to give a crap. They're going to keep doing whatever they want.
Of Epstein, because there are a lot of victims.
Well, you had identified in phase one over 254.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, is that the only thing that would be redacted? Will everything else be made public that you get in your possession?
Yeah, the FBI hasn't had, obviously, they haven't looked at the thousands of pages of documents that they've just received Friday. Yeah. But Cash has a team going through them, and it's always about protecting the victim. But you know what? We believe in transparency, and America has the right to know. The Biden administration sat on these documents. No one did anything with them. And why were they sitting in the Southern District of New York? I want a full report on that. Sadly, these people...
So do we. So do we, Pam. And we're all waiting.
People don't believe in transparency, but I think more, unfortunately, I think a lot of them don't believe in honesty. And it's a new day, it's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public. The public has a right to know. Americans have a right to know.
Yes, we do.
And that goes the same with the JFK files,
JFK,
RFK files,
Martin
MLK.
Luther King. Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. What are the things that, and maybe some people don't understand the need to redact. In the case of a victim, that should be pretty obvious to people. What are the other things that maybe you would have?
Like I said before, I completely 100% understand redacting the victims' names. I'm fine with that. The rest of it, let it loose. Let it fly. But again, somebody needs to be held accountable. Until that happens, nobody's going to care what they do because their actions don't have consequences. I know I'm repeating it, but I'm just saying.
Have to redact.
Well,
National security?
no, of course, national security, some grand jury information, which is always going to be confidential, but we'll see. Let's look through them as fast as we can, get it out to the American people.
I don't care if there was a judge, yada yada yada, somebody else protecting these people. They need to be held accountable as well, and I think the American people should know about that. I don't care about that. Victims, I understand. Judges, lawyers, anybody else trying to protect these people, no, let it fly. I don't care. Let it fly.
Because the American people have a right to know, not
Yes, they
only
do.
on that, but on Kennedy, on Martin Luther King, on all of these cases that the Biden administration has just sat on for all these years. So yeah, it's really, it's not sad. It's infuriating
Yes,
that
it is.
these people thought that they could sit on this information, but they can't. It's a new day, and we believe in transparency, and it's going to come out. And when we redact things, Sean, what we're going to do is not just pull pages out like they used to do. If something's redacted, you will know the line, and you will know why it's redacted, like a victim's name, identifying information of a victim.
Okay, do it. Do it. We're tired of waiting. I mean, like I said, I'm not. Like I said, I don't care about the lawyers, the judges, the people that are trying to protect these people, these sick individuals. And I don't care. I don't care who's on the list. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, Hollywood celeb. I don't care. It needs to come out. These people need to be held accountable for the actions that they have taken. That's it. I mean, nope, hold on. Yeah, that's it. I mean, why? Why is it? Okay, I'm getting a little flustered because this just really irks me. And y'all can tell from the previous videos I've made on this, I don't think this is just how I feel about it. Get it done. The fact that you came out and lied to us about this previously is what has irked a lot of people, and it's why we don't trust what you're saying now. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that you actually do have a truckload of files that you're actually having to go through, and then I hope it does get released. I hope that I'm wrong, but the fact of what you had done previously, and this, look, if nothing comes from this, you've lost all complete faith. You've just come out and said that there's truckloads of files. Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, is going through them, and that they will be released. If nothing comes from this, you've lost complete faith. Nobody is going to believe you. You're going to be a terrible pick by the president. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I do. I hope that you get it all out there and you've got it all taken care of. I hope that I'm wrong. That being said, appreciate you hanging out. That's all I've got for now. If you like what you saw, you can follow me on Rumble. That's the place to be. You can also subscribe to me on YouTube because I do put them up there. Although most of the time they probably get taken down. And you can also follow me on X at ThePoliticalRay. And again, I appreciate you hanging out. I hope y'all have a great day, and God bless.